One of the fondest memories would probably be...
My fondest memories of LSR.
My fondest memory of LSR.
I do have fond memories, but I've forgotten a lot of them.
My fondest memory of LSR, well, one of my most fondest is meeting my husband, Glenn.
I went to Lake Sequoia probably about 25 years. I first started because we were forced to go. My girlfriend and I, Shelley Hiroka and I, were forced to go. And that whole year that we were there, we kept singing. The Animals had a song called "We Gotta Get Out of This Place If It's the Last Thing I Ever Do." And we would sing that all day, every day, because we were miserable.
I'll tell you the first thing I remember about going to Lake Sequoia, and it actually happened before the actual camp.
Seeing so many Japanese young people my age during a time when normally I would be in the summertime picking grapes out in the fields.
And it turned out these three guys were all from Monterey. I think it was Steve Shiozaki, Steve Nakajima, and maybe Richard Kawamoto. And of course I got to be great friends with them. But that's my very first memory of Lake Sequoia, was actually before camp began. And these guys were going to beat the heck out of me.
I had a lot of great times, a lot of great memories. If I never get thrown in the lake again, I will miss it.
Campfire and telling jokes and cracking people up and just having a good old time and getting to know folks, you know, new kids that I had never seen before and introduced to everybody.
I didn't know they had Japanese people in Bakersfield.
And then maybe late at night, the guys would get together, we'd fool around in the cabin, and we always played poker, you know, played cards, lost money. And then, I do remember chasing the girls around.
A lot of us Fresno kids did. We got involved with running the camps. And one year I was a co-chair with Roger Morimoto, and another year with Steve Shiozaki. And so that was a great opportunity to go to different cities in between, you know, camp and meet up with friends that we met there.
Helping with the organization, I was probably one of those typically nerdy wallflowers, and so it wasn't exactly enjoyable.
They put me on the cabinet, and so from then on I was hooked and loved everything about it. Loved meeting all the people from all over California.
Being at the lake itself and out in nature was probably the nicest memory I've had.
The environment was always a terrific place, and the fact that it almost burned down this year really makes it special to think about it, because it's hard to find something that gives you a feeling of space, but at the same time you feel comfortable. You're not overwhelmed by it. It's not Lake Tahoe.
The setting of Lake Sequoia, it's beautiful. It's the water and the trees, the quiet, the serenity. I was very concerned this summer when the fire was about a mile away from Lake Sequoia, and it would have really made me very, very sad if it had been destroyed.
A lot of people knew my father, which I didn't know, and I would have never known that until we actually met at camp.
We had a lot of great reverends who had really perked us up spiritually.
All the spiritual things we had, they were very, very touching, and they affected my life in a very positive way.
Met him at camp, yes.
And then how many years later until you got married?
Oh, many.
Few years.
Quite a few years. We got married in 1961. So there was quite a few years in between.
So did you think back then in the 50s that you'd end up marrying this guy?
No. Did you? No.
Besides meeting my wife, my other fondest memory of Lake Sequoia is probably the last night when we did the candle service and everything. You got to meet all those people.
It was a wonderful, solemn service. It was I think the last night where we had candles. It was in the evening, of course. It was dark, and we all were around the campfire, and we took our candles on a plate and set them there and put them out in the lake, and we sang for all night long, and that's probably my fondest memory.
It was a really good experience, and just kind of wish it was still here.